If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.
We're at the Grill and Harriman House. Also want to thank our sponsors, Fremont Mortgage. If you're looking to buy or refinance a home, don't make a 30-year mistake by choosing the wrong lender. For record low interest rates, call Fremont Mortgage today, 800-955-8508. Never an application fee. Underwriting, processing, and closing is all done in their local office, and with rates at record lows. This could be the last mortgage you ever take out, so why risk it with someone else? Call Fremont Mortgage today, 800-955-8508, or visit them at fremontmortgage.com. NMLS 1071. Also brought to you by the Gold Father. Turn your unwanted gold, silver, watches, and coins into cold hard cash. See my good friend Telly, the Gold Father, at 507 Eastern Boulevard in Essex, or call 410-391-GOLD. Get the most cash from the Gold Father, then they buy it, melt it, no resale. They'll make you an offer you can't refuse. Info at thegoldfather.net. License number 2366. Dennis, we got to start letting you read these, man. I mean, you know, you do your intros, but, you know, you really hit the big time when you can read the sponsor reads. That's the money thing.
You know, I think you do a great job with those. I'm just going to let you keep running with it. The gold finder.
Thanks. Ed Dickson, I'll tell you what we have to tell Ed, because we set a great precedent last week, because Justin Tucker came on the show, and it's the good luck factor. Justin was money last week in Philadelphia.
Yeah, he was. How many field goals did he have? Three
field goals. The 56-yarder was,
man,
it was crushed, and I think it might have been good from 65.
Yeah, he hit that one well. I mean, you know, I think we talked about it a little bit last week, but he's just been so solid all camp, and, you know, through the preseason, and, you know, obviously we were able to see a lot of that on Sunday, and, you know, I was hoping we'd be able to get in field goal range and let him kick a game winner too, but, you know, he's just been great for us.
It was funny because, remember, we asked him on the show, we said, hey, you know, what's it going to be if you're asked to do that 55, 60-yarder, are you going to be the guy that says yeah? And it's exactly how it played out at the end of the half. He comes running out and just crushed that ball.
Oh yeah, it was a great kick. And, you know, we said all along we just needed to get to the 40-yard line and give him a chance. And, you know, he's been kicking, you know, 50, 60 yards in practice. So, you know, we knew we had a chance if we got it close.
All right, now, so Ed, no pressure, but like we're thinking like 9 catches, 140, maybe 2 touchdowns. No, that keep the precedent going. Okay?
No pressure at all.
I want to ask you guys, and I'll throw a couple of football questions out there. First 2 weeks of the season, difference in the no huddle. Is it a lot easier to run at home? Is it more difficult? Give us a perspective from the field as to how it runs and how much more difficult it is on the road to run the no huddle.
You know, I think we both come from colleges that ran the no huddle in our offense, and, you know, Ed comes from Oregon. They run, you know,
all the time,
100 plays a minute over there. So, you know, you get to the NFL, it feels like, you know, huddling every play, it's weird.
Boring.
And, yeah, slow. And, no, so we're both comfortable in it. I mean, I like it a lot better. You know, you don't have to run in and out of the huddle every time. It's better for the receivers. You can kind of stay out there, get the call on the line, and just be ready to go. And so, you know, I think it's been great for us the first couple weeks.
Ed, what do you think?
The thing about the no huddle is every no huddle looks different. I mean, if you see the Giants no huddle and then the Ravens no huddle, all gonna look different. It's the way we want to run our no huddle. We want to run it at a tempo where we're getting the right plays in, but we're going fast and we're getting the amount of plays where the guys feel comfortable at. We don't want to do it out of control, so to say, and we're not getting any work done.
So, you guys have the no huddle, the muddle, how many different variations of this thing do you guys have?
Yeah, we want to no huddle, but we want to see the defense as we're doing it. So we get up there, we ID the mic, ID what they're going to do, and then we got to go fast. I mean, we both came from no huddle offenses. Like you said, I came from Oregon. That was like jet tempo, and we were out there doing things at high speed.
Give me your perspective on you know, this is the second straight national television game at home. Just how jacked up you are. I know you guys got introduced as the offense in week 1, coming out of the tunnel. Talk about the experience here in Baltimore and how great the fans are, and kind of being in that atmosphere of M&T Bank Stadium?
Well, a chance to be on national television, we're showcasing again. I mean, we want to put on a better performance than we did last week as an offense. Playing the M&T Bank is the best place to play in the NFL, hands down. I mean, I'm not just saying that because I play here. I've been to other places. Playing on the road, we have the best fans in the NFL, and we want to showcase for the fans. We're going to go out there, put a good performance on, and play an all-around game, offense, defense, and special teams.
Dennis?
You know, it's true. You know, the football experience, the whole game day experience in the stadium is really unlike any other stadium around the NFL. And you know, I've got friends on other teams that have come and played here, and you know, think that their team, you know, does it all wrong, and you know, pregame and you know, the intros and everything like that, and just you know how into the game the fans are. It's just incredible, and you know, you see how passionate the people of Baltimore are about football, and so it's a lot of fun to play, especially in games like this. You know, Sunday night game, we played in a Monday night game, we'll get to play in a Thursday night game, you know, this week too, and so these games are a lot of fun to play in when you know you have a crowd behind you like that.
Give us an idea of how the team has approached things the first month. It really, when you look at it, it's kind of a tough schedule for you guys. You play on Monday night, short week, you play a game on national television, then play 4 days later. Have you kind of put some things into place to get yourselves ready to play 2 games in 5 days?
Well, go ahead.
I mean, you really aren't ever ready to be able to do that. You know, it's tough. You know, when you play a football game, you know, you're sore for, you know, a few days after, and so having to have such a quick turnaround like that and play on Thursday night, it's just, you know, you really can't simulate that. You can't really prepare for that. So it's just something you got to kind of grind out, but understand that both teams are going through that. So it's the team that kind of handles that the best that's going to come out on top.
Yeah.
We know in the short week, and in 1 week we can get 2 victories. That's all we worry about, is getting 2 victories.
And you know what? I'm an optimist. Other than the bright side, you guys get to stay home. You don't have to travel for that Thursday night game. That's huge.
That's good. That's big.
I want to ask you guys, I've been around for a while and covered this team since they got here in '96. And so Wade Harmon and I have gone way back. And I've seen Wade's had Shannon Sharp here and Todd Heap, and now you guys. I want to give him some props because I think he's one of the best coaches in the league. Talk about him and kind of what he means to you guys and how he helped you guys be better players.
Well, since day one, sorry, I knew you were going to say something. But
No, you're good.
Since day one, since I arrived here in Baltimore, Wade was the first person that at my hotel made sure I had the scripts for the next day, everything. He put countless hours of work in, working on things that he needed to do with the team and things he needed to do with us. He's just a great person. I mean, other than football. His family's nice. They embraced us like no other. I just think that I don't think there's no other coach that I would rather have than Wade Harmon at this point in my career. There's a lot of coaches out there that's been doing it good for a long time, but Wade Harmon, I think he's up there in the coaching.
Yeah, I mean, Wade is just one of the most prepared coaches I think I've been around. You know, like Ed said, he's always getting us, you know, the scripts, you know, a day early, or he's always, you know, meeting with us and making sure we're all on the same page before we go out to a walkthrough or before we go into another meeting. And so, you know, I think that just helps us be well prepared. And like Ed said, he's, you know, on and off the field, he's just such a great guy, and we get along with him so well, which really helps our relationship in football and our progression. And so, you know, we feel like we're lucky. You know, we hear stories of other coaches, and sometimes they're horror stories, and, you know, there's a lot of good coaches out there, but we're fortunate to have Wade as our coach.
You know, I know, Dennis, when we started the show tonight, we were talking about, and by the way, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but they're now writing columns in the paper about how many times you guys line up in what spot and how many times you get thrown the football and who's going where and who's going when. And I just think it's kind of funny that we're focusing on tight ends here and talking about it. But, you know, you earned that because you guys built a rapport with Joe in the offseason.
Yeah.
Dennis, talk about that. And talk about that, building that rapport with your quarterback and letting him know that you're a guy that he can count on, and he knows that you're a reliable target no matter what the situation is in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head right there. Is you have to, you know, let him make sure that he knows that you're a reliable target. I totally said that wrong, but you know, you got to you got to be able to gain that trust. He has to be able to trust you. He has to be able to know where you're going to be, that you're going to, be in the right spot, because, playing quarterback in the NFL is a really difficult position. You got guys coming at you all over the place. You got different looks. You have to be able to trust the guys that are around you, and that's really where it all starts. And so, it starts in practice. It starts, in the off season, just throwing routes, just building that rapport and that chemistry, and being able to trust one another and be on the same page.
It's all about thinking, being able to think that you know what the other guy's doing at all times. I mean, when you think about guys like Todd Heap and Derek Mason, they had time to gel, so to say, with Joe Flacco. They had time to develop that off-season chemistry. We got held back that one year when there was a lockout.
Right, no practice.
When there was a lockout, and it showed. It looked like the team was out of sync that year, but we did good. Last year we made it to the divisional championship, and we almost went to the Super Bowl. Not saying that we were satisfied with that, but for a quarterback like Joe to instill confidence in players that he hadn't been around that long, I think he's doing a tremendous job, and we got a chance this offseason in building in that. Myself, Dennis Pitta, the young wide receivers, and some of the vet wide receivers.
I know it's always a work in progress, and I'll never forget, and Peyton Manning's come to Baltimore a couple times. I'll never forget a few years ago just watching him 3 hours before a game out in the field, just working the same route with Marvin Harrison time and time again.
Yeah.
Where are you guys at with Joe? And I know there had to be a certain point with Peyton and his receivers where you just look at each other and just a look would know that you're on the same page. Are you guys there with him yet with that, or is there still work that needs, and you guys still need to get to that level?
There's always work to be done. We're building that chemistry. I think with every practice, with every game, comes more chemistry. That's why you see us out there 2 hours before the game, throwing with Joe, doing those minor things that's going to help in the end and help in the game when it comes to those moments where you're catching the ball for the chance to go to the Super Bowl.
I appreciate you comparing us to Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison. That's a Hall of Fame connection right there. But I think those guys, Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison, just did it for so long.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of it. Being able to play for years with each other just really solidifies that trust and solidifies that confidence in one another. And when you're in meetings every year and going over the same things and talking about different looks and this and that, you think alike. And so I think over the years they developed that mentality, that mind frame, and they could see something and think the same thing about it. And I think we're getting there, but obviously that takes time, and that's something that we continue to evolve with and continue to develop.
If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.